You are welcome back to the Cocoa Digest Morning Show. If you are just tuning in, this is the Cocoa Digest Morning Show, and we are live on Clog TV, streaming live on Facebook and YouTube. So call a friend, text a friend to tune in and join in the conversation. Your comments are welcome on our live streams on Facebook and YouTube, and of course on our numbers displayed, on our WhatsApp numbers displayed on your screens. Now, it is time for our online and newspaper review with two of my co-hosts in the persons of Miss Miriam Abnadidi and Mr. Clement Yabankwe. Good morning, lady and gentlemen.
Good morning, Yara.
Good morning, Yara.
How are you doing?
By God's grace. I mean, today the quotes, you know.
Yeah, grace, yes.
It's all about grace, so I'm just thanking God.
I like that.
Yeah, you look good.
Thank you.
I like your costume.
Yes, it was by one.
The
Yeah.
secret.
I'll share it very soon, later in the day, on the show. So yes, trending news officers, please, what do we have?
So maybe, before we move into the song played was very nice. I say I feel way dear. So I want to tell our viewers that stay with Cocoa Digest. Now I feel way dear and some pound kwan ya de bro. We'll give you nothing but the best.
Exactly. Okay, so on to the trends. For the past 3 days, a story regarding a legislative instrument that is supposed to be, have been passed by Parliament, is seeking for members of Parliament to use sirens and have no speed limits when they are driving. And so they are saying that that LI is going to allow members of Parliament to drive around without speed limits and also use sirens. And according to the Speaker of Parliament, Honorable Alban Bagbin, he's denying knowledge of this alleged LI, and he's saying he didn't know anything about it, and so Ghanaians should not take that into consideration. But there have been a lot of controversies surrounding this LI. A lot of people have said that they don't believe the Speaker of Parliament was not aware of this LI because it was discussed in Parliament. So why is he denying knowledge of it? And others have also said that even if they are trying to pass this into law, they think it is not necessary because there are so many pressing issues in the country that needs immediate redress, and so these are not the kind of things we even want to hear in the country. So these are some of the controversies surrounding the LI.
And even considering the fact that today we are going to talk about road safety, and then a part of the LI is talking about allowing our officials to drive without speed limits, that goes in contrast with, the laws, road safety regulations here. And if they also drive in the traffic and they feel what the normal Ghanaian feels in traffic, it would be able to motivate them to do something about our roads, our traffic situation and everything. So, yes, I think
some people have even raised concerns concerning our roads.
Yes.
Because they are so tiny in the sense that when you are going home, you have to use just one lane. But if the roads were expanded, we would not even need to pass this LI in the first place.
And even in addition to the road issue, I think we have just one main road. All the other roads feed into the road. So it's like, even if you use the back roads, you still end up back on the main road, which gets congested with so many people.
So,
yes, Clement.
Like as you said, this LI was seeking to make amendment to the traffic regulation of 2012. Yes, 2012. So they were seeking to amend such regulation, and in doing so, as Mimi said, not only MPs but ministers of state and judges. That's the justice we have. They would also be involved in such privileges. But you see, this privilege is enshrined in the Constitution that is for emergency and serious issues.
Exactly,
so if now our members of Parliament and ministers of state are going to be entitled to this, as you said, how will they feel? Like we, the ordinary Ghanaian, being in traffic for about 2 hours, just a short drive. And yes, we understand you're on official assignment, but at least let's feel how we feel so that whenever we talk, you would be able to listen to us.
Even some officials in the Scandinavian countries, they are members of parliament. They use the public transport just like the
Some even
layman,
use
you know.
bicycles.
Yes, some even use bicycles. They're not given any preferential treatment, so they know what's going on ground. If the train delays or whatever, they would send that to the others to be able to do something about it because they are also being affected.
I see this thing was put before the floor of Parliament somewhere June 14th.
Okay.
Yes, it was supposed to mature, God willing, tomorrow. That is 19th of July because of its time. But thanks be to God that the Minister of Local Government, they've withdrawn the LI from the floor of Parliament because they want to go re-look at it and bring it back to Parliament.
I don't even think it should be passed. I don't think it should.
But there are other aspects of the airline which is very, very important. Yes. So I think that's the main reason why they wanted to bring it up.
Okay.
But the portion of it that gives that privileges to the MPs and stuff, that is really raising the concern. So I think they would just go and
and even the sirens, we use the sirens are usually to indicate some sort of alarm. Now, look at how many MPs we have in the country.
Yes.
And then each and every one of them is going up. That is noise pollution. Why?
But is it even before this LI is going to be passed? Even some MPs drive with sirens.
Yeah.
Yes, they do drive with sirens.
So now we have, I think we have about 275.
Yes, 275.
Yes.
Yeah.
So 275 members of parliament. Each of them, maybe they are all driving from their homes to parliament. All through. No, that's not. No, we don't want that. That's too much.
There's another trending story. This morning, as you know, Cocoa Digest, so we have to get our cocoa early morning before we come to this studio. But shockingly, we went to the cocoa joint and they said there's new prices.
Hey.
Wow.
And I wonder, new prices, you see, they are saying the cocoa seller says from tomorrow, cocoa is for 4 cities. Cocoa is for 4 cities, no more 3 cities.
Wow.
No more 2 cities, so 4 cities. And cocoa with milk is going to be 6 cities.
Hey.
And like, it's becoming unbecoming. Yes, it's becoming unbecoming. And I think
as well. All we can say in this country is it is well, because
It is not well. No,
it is well. What can you do, Yaira?
It is not well.
You see, we have to speak, and I believe whenever we speak, the government would listen. And
haven't we been speaking like
what
but
organized
we still
labor
need
did?
to look at, you see, until we add some amount of force or energy to it.
That is the whole point.
Organized labor was able to do something.
Yes.
And as we've been speaking, maybe we've seen them, they serve as, some trendsetters or pace setters for us. We will also stand.
But the issue is, have their, pleas been met? Like, have their requests been met?
Well,
they are all promises. Like, we'll do it. We'll do it.
Yes, it's in the future. And if those promises are not fulfilled in the future, of course, they will rise again. And in this time, maybe
it's going to be a back and forth, strike.
Have some faith in your country, man.
We are tired.
Aside this cocoa price increase, we still want to assure viewers that they shouldn't be discouraged. When they want the best cocoa joints, they should tune into Clock TV. We'll give them the best, so they shouldn't get worried about that at all.
Okay, so Cocoa Digest prices have not increased. We are still, we are maintaining our prices. So we have a comment here. Cocoa Digest, I like your program. Keep it up. Joe from Oman. Joe, thank you so much, Joe. We also like you. Thank you for tuning in. And so now, yes, let's get into the newspapers quickly. Okay. Miriam, what do you have for us, please?
So today I have with me the Daily Graphic. Today's Daily Graphic, Thursday, July 18th, 2024. And we have a couple of stories making headlines on the front page. And I'll briefly go through them and then we'll zero into our main story. So Tertiary Business Schools Challenge launched. And that is on page 13. We have President nominates 2 to Supreme Court. And also the GRA exceeds mid-year targets by 138 million Ghana cedis. And we also have a commendation from the President of Ghana, President Akufo-Addo, and he commends the Youth Employment Agency as they empower about 600,000 Ghanaians.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I remember there was a time I needed a job. We went to their conference and they had a workshop or something to help people get jobs at the conference center. Yes, that was back in 2020.
But you did not join them, right?
No, they were mostly what's the name? Insurance companies and
I had the opportunity to work with them for some time, and
I
was a health assistant.
Oh, okay, that's good.
Okay.
You know, on Tuesday we talked about unemployment of youth.
Yes.
So that should tell you that whatever we say, they listen. Yes, they do.
Yes.
So in 2 days,
this goes to you.
Yes, they are really listening to Clock TV.
So let me read a portion of it so we can move forward. So the government has estimated that the over 100,000 beneficiaries of Youth Employment Agency have positively impacted the livelihoods of over 500,000 individuals in the last 4 years. Now, Youth Employment Agency was set up to, among other things, work together in reducing youth unemployment through skills development, monetary assistance, and startups to enable the youth to create employment for themselves and others. Now, continuing on page 3, they are saying this came to light yesterday when the President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo addressed the maiden edition of the Youth Employment Agency Beneficiaries Forum in the Ashanti region, and an estimated 8,000 young men and women in various models of the agency attended the forum at the Bantama Church of Pentecost in Kumasi. Now, the President praised the management and board of the Youth Employment Agency for the significant efforts in addressing the country's unemployment issues. He highlighted plans to enhance the appeal and effectiveness of the Youth Employment Agency's programs, particularly for the youth. Now, interestingly, President Akufo-Addo gave an assurance that the government would support the security services to consider the beneficiaries' appeals to be enlisted. That's some good news in there.
Yeah.
And the CEO of the Youth Employment Agency emphasized the agency's commitment to its beneficiaries by ensuring timely payment and training to boost morale and appreciation. Mr. Japan also shared the success stories of some beneficiaries who were creating jobs for themselves and others, noting that over 8,496 beneficiaries are in the Ashanti region alone, including community police, health workers, and those with the prison services. So that is it. That is what's happened over the weekend.
Oh, okay. I just hope that as the President has commended them, the government will put in some help with them or partner with them to be able to curb the NEET youth employment issues too, because it's a very good initiative. So let's take a few comments. So we have kudos, Miriam, Grandpa is watching you live. And then we also have from Obiba Wilson. He says, the color purple is associated with a variety of meanings, including wisdom, creativity, royalty, power, ambition, and luxury. It can also represent magic, extravagance, peace, pride, independence, and wealth. Yaira, you are highly spiritual this morning. Good morning to you and your lovely co-hosts, Clement and Mimi. Obiba. Thank you so much, Obiba.
Hi, Obiba. I'm still here.
Thank you so much. So my outfit today is by Seams by B, and we'll be interacting with her later on the show, but this is just a quick shout out to her. Thank you for making me look highly spiritual. So yes, let's continue when more comments come.
So yeah, still on the Youth Employment Agencies move. I think they've really done well.
Okay.
And as I stated earlier, I'm a beneficiary.
Yes.
5, 6, 7 years ago, I was part of the Youth Employment Agency because I had completed senior high school and I didn't know what to do. I didn't have anything to do. And so I enrolled, and then I was a public health assistant.
Okay.
So I was just checking the, the vitals of individuals.
At least you've learned triage.
Yes,
that's good.
So I think it is a great move, and the president also making sure that some of them will, be enlisted into the security services is also something commendable.
Maybe from now, Mimi can be Clock TV's nurse, checking our BPs.
I do everything.
Again?
I do everything.
Everything.
I'm a midwife.
Oh, yes. Let's get to you.
Yeah, so I think what she said is it's a good news.
Yeah.
Yes.
We are hoping that as they've empowered these people, they would also work very hard, because when a resource is invested, what's the person who invested expects is the fruit.
Yeah.
Even the Bible says that when the tree that has not bear fruit, you have to cut it off.
Yes.
Yeah, so if the government is investing into the youth, they should also make sure they bear fruit and bring out the good. But the one thing I'm so much concerned is it shouldn't just be a surface program. It shouldn't just be because we are in election year, we are empowering 600,000 people.
Yeah.
And after that, they are nowhere to be found. Yes, they should really go into it, make sure that it's going to really work. That's my concern.
And it would even help with the private institutions, because from the little experience I've had with YEA, it was mostly private institutions that were looking for recruits. So it would also empower them, and then the partnership with the government would also work out. So, I mean, we're hoping for the best for them.
Sure.
And we are also grateful that they've been able to help at least a large quantity of our youth.
It's amazing.
Yeah. So, business news.
Era, this is a graphic business.
Yes.
But Era, before I go into my news, I want to use this opportunity to wish my able producer. I know Mimi will do that on the birthday segment.
Yes.
But I want to use this platform to wish her happy glorious birthday in advance. Coming Saturday is her birthday.
Oh, okay.
And she's doing marvelously well.
Yeah.
This morning, when behind the scene, it was so amazing.
Wow.
So glorious birthday to Miss Eunice Owusu, coming Saturday. I know Mimi will celebrate you more on the birthday segment. Yeah. So let's get into the business, graphic business. It says insurance aid to target informal sectors.
Okay.
So the insurance companies that we have, they have been asked to target the informal sectors we have in Ghana. So you say Acting Commissioner of Insurance, Michael Kofi Ando, has urged insurance companies to develop policies and products that will target the informal sector of the economy. He said the product must offer value to workers in the informal sector who are often left out of financial services. I think it's a good call, because mostly the insurance companies, the products they have is mostly for the formal sectors.
Yeah.
And our mothers are left out. Those selling, the carpenters. So I think the commissioner telling the various insurance companies we have in Ghana to have a product where a mason can come and enroll on it.
Yeah.
And the interesting part is he also he raised a concern about when one is going to redeem his claim, that's his insurance benefit. It's a major concern that I know that moving forward, we will be addressing it on the business news moving forward, because people have been complaining. They enroll an insurance policy, but at the end of the day, the process you are supposed to go through to get your benefits, it's tiresome. And then you realize that, Charlie, you are fed up and you leave it just behind for it to go. So the commissioner also said that the companies should also look into that so that they will give the best to the Ghanaian market.
I think they could put in more effort into educating people,
Yes.
bring it down to the most basic level so that these people would understand, because a lot of the people in the informal sector are either semi-literate or illiterate.
Yeah.
Some are literate, but these processes, because they are no longer used to these rigorous formal,
Education.
processes, they get tired. But if it is explained to them very well, and then assistance is given, like when you go to the bank and you can't fill, you don't know where to write. I mean, you get some help with them. If they do that, I mean, it can go a long way to help these people who get tired so quickly.
Sometimes you'll be walking, they'll be chasing you.
Oh.
Want to enroll the policy, and it's nice to enroll.
That energy should also be put into educating people more and helping them out. Yeah.
The good news is business updates are going to be doing that.
Okay.
So viewers should stay
So we don't
tuned.
even want to elaborate more on it.
Exactly.
Just stay tuned
We'll be
for
doing
the
that
business
moving forward.
segment. Clement will explain things to us down to the last detail. Thank you so much. Do you have another story?
Yeah. Another story is about over 100,000 self-employed join SNET scheme in 18 months.
Oh, wow.
Yes,
Okay.
over 100,000. But this story today on the business update, we'll bring you the
to
details
update
on
us.
that. Yes, we'll
We
bring you the
can't
details on
wait.
that.
Okay. So we have a few comments from our Facebook stream. So Stage Africa says, good morning, Clog TV and the entire team. Good morning to you too. Ohima Aluki says, nice discussion. Thank you, Ohima. Then ABK TV Ghana says, good morning. A good morning to you too. Thank you for sending in your comments. And we are hoping to get more comments from you. Feel free to send your comments on our streams on Facebook and on YouTube, and even to our WhatsApp numbers here displayed on your screen. So yes, back to our news review. So online stories. The first one says, Nahinso chief arrested for unauthorized road repairs. So the chief of Nahinso, Nana Ado Boaman, was arrested and granted bail by the Asokwa Municipal Assembly for undertaking unauthorized road works in his community. Frustrated by the persistent flooding and poor conditions of the local road networks, the chief took matters into his own hands after repeated appeals to authorities went unheeded. For years, residents and motorists in Nahinso have endured the dilapidated road infrastructure. Previous attempts to address the issue through drainage construction were abandoned, and further exacerbating the problems. So pits created by the alleged sand mining activities pose serious threats, leading to frequent flooding and hindering transportation. So, tired of waiting for the government's intervention, the chief filled the pits and repaired the road to make it more passable. However, municipal officials intervened, arguing that the chief had not followed the proper procedures. Despite being granted bail, Nana Boaman has vowed to continue his efforts to improve the road conditions in Nahinso. Interesting.
It's
Very interesting.
But Ayra, you see, this story, when I saw the story, I just said, when people become frustrated, they can go, miles to do everything they want to do just because of their comforts.
Yeah.
And this highlights the frustration that came up, as the chief embarked on, fixing the roads himself. And there is also a balance between following proper procedures and also empowering communities to do things that will help the community. So where do they fall? Because when you read the story, it says that the chief did not follow the proper procedures.
Yes, but he had made appeals to
you get it. So there's supposed to be a balance in there.
Yeah.
People need to understand, what they are supposed to do when government is not coming in to solve their problems.
Yeah. And this is one of the disadvantages of bureaucracy, where you have to follow so many processes and guidelines. But also on the flip side of this, if you leave the people to start these projects themselves, it gives a risk of not even not doing well, the government themselves becoming complacent.
Yeah.
Because we've even heard from one of our officials some time back that we should create our own timetable.
Yes.
So when more citizens start rising to do these things, there may come a time where the government can become so complacent that they would say that you can't do it yourself. But then again, how long must it take?
And I like the fact that he said, even though he has been granted bail,
he will do it.
He will still go
because
on to
this
do
is someone who cares about the welfare of his people.
Yes.
This is a leader that is worth emulating.
Yes. So Yaya, this story is in two sides. Yes. One, it's different. He didn't make attempt to get the necessary permission.
Yes.
He did, but from the story you could see that it kept long. It was delayed. And he said for years. And what happened was that people in the community were also going through a lot of pain.
They were being affected.
Yes, going through a lot of pain. And as a king and as a leader, he would not sit down
and watch his
people suffer.
Yeah.
It's like a mother will not sit down, watch his children go hungry. The same way a chief will not sit down, watch his people suffer. In as much as he's not watching them suffer, he was able to take the step. So if he had done that, at the end of the day, you've arrested him, he have been granted a bail. He said, still, I will still do it. Do you know where the power is coming from? The community is backing him.
Exactly.
So he has the voice of the people. He is fighting for the people. And it is the voice of the people you are looking for. Not a particular person or a particular institution. So if the whole community stands that, no, we are for our king and we want the road to be constructed, I think the municipal would not have any way to be in the community.
And even his arrest, what message does that send from the officials to the citizens? You are doing something that is benefiting your people, and then you've been arrested for it. The people that have arrested you are saying because you didn't follow due process. But what message does that send to even the younger ones coming up?
It is just going to stop a lot of people from
it will stifle people who have that passion and love for their country to do. Because I think a proprietor of a school to somewhere in Brekuso or so, he also had an issue like that where he wanted to fix the road to the school, but had issues with the government too, and they kept telling him to wait, things like that. But the road, to get to school, you will become white because of the dust.
So, Yara, the process that you're supposed to go through to get the necessary authorization to construct road, I went through that. And let me read to our viewers so that they would take note of that. So the first thing is initial planning and feasibility study. So conduct a feasibility study to assess the availability of the road. And the next one is develop a design and a plan for the road construction you want to do. So as an individual. The second thing is approval from local authorities. So you have to seek approval from the municipality or the districts you reign. After that, site inspection. The road you want to construct, they should come and inspect the site. The third one is environmental impact assessment. So you have to get permission from the Environmental Protection Agency. That's what you are doing wouldn't have any impact on the citizen. So the next point is detailed design and engineering. You have to get an engineer who would work on whatever you are going to do, and also approval from road authority. That's Ghana Highway. You need to get approval from them. The fifth one talks about permits and licenses, which says that obtain permits from the relevant authority, including land use. Because the road you are going to construct, you might end up, you have to get authority from such people. And also land acquisition, as we said. The sixth point says that, so compliance with standard, the standard from Ghana Highway Authority. Make sure that everything you are doing, it's of standard. So the seventh one talks about construction and monitoring. So once you are doing the construction, there should be people from highway who would come and also monitor everything you do. Then the last one will be completion, and you just hand over. So I think where the problem will lie is the approval process. Because you have to seek approval from the local government.
And I even doubt if he went through all these processes, because it is it is a whole process.
Yeah,
it's a whole
it's
process
lot.
on
You
its
get
own.
it.
It's a whole process
And
on
it's
its own.
going to
So,
take months. It's going to take
yes,
years.
you have to get engineer, you have to get all these people on board.
But I'm sure he had them. That is why he was able to. I'm sure he thought it through because he is a chief, or
Yes,
is it?
he is,
Yeah, a chief.
yes.
Yes, and I also feel like, okay, not feel, but I think that the government should actually, or these authorities should actually jump at this opportunity when people rise up that they want to help. You know, do things like this. They, if this was approved by these authorities, all they could have done was bring the necessary officials who can do the, you know, supervision and make sure that everything is done well. Then we move forward, because at the end of the day, the road is there for us to use. The citizens have a passable road. Their lives are not made more difficult. Traveling, transporting food, everything just starts running smoothly. It's a win. From both sides,
there is an issue of personal interest because authorities wanted to, you know, have the constructions to themselves and you know have their personal gains. Oh, it is true.
Yes, so
but that's the reality.
They could collaborate with the chief, and then they can still get whatever personal gain they want from it. Because at the end of the day, it is about smooth, passable roads.
Yeah, I think we will follow this story and be updating viewers what happens next.
Okay, so that will be an express update.
Yes.
So we have one comment from here. Simpima Ruth. She says, I love the outfits on the beautifully dressed presenters. Thank you so much, Ruth. So please keep sending your comments in, join in the conversation on our live stream on Facebook and on YouTube. Or you can send your comments to our WhatsApp number, your suggestions, your questions, everything. We'll read them out here. So yes, let's get to the last story. So this one says, no recruitment for security services, says the Interior Minister. So Interior Minister Henry Quartey has refuted allegations that the government is secretly recruiting new personnel into the security services. Quartey clarified that the current process only involves assessing the eligibility of applicants who have already purchased the necessary forms. The minister explained that the Ministry of the Interior does not handle recruitment directly, as that responsibility lies with the security and intelligence agencies themselves. Addressing the press, Quartey questioned the logic of continuously selling application forms when the number of eligible candidates may not exceed 2,000. He emphasized the need to provide opportunities to those who have already acquired the forms, allowing them to go through the proper assessment process to determine if they meet the eligibility criteria. This statement comes after the minority in Parliament threatened to summon the Interior Minister over reports of an alleged recruitment of 11,000 security personnel.
It's Ghana. It is well. But why would people even think that there is a secret, you know, recruitment going on? That's my question.
Well, considering this life,
it is happening.
This life,
it is happening.
We are told it is who you know, right?
Yeah.
So protocol, what.
No,
So
it's not who you know. It is who knows you.
Oh,
you know somebody. The person who don't know you. Yes.
So who knows you?
Yes.
Sorry. So based on that, there could be some, silent recruitments happening. And then also, they said 2,000, it shouldn't exceed 2,000, but we are hearing about 11,000 people. Wow. This means that people are probably printing out the forms selling them and pocketing that money.
Yes.
It could be people from the agencies or just
security services.
People outside of it. Hey, so, there's a whole lot to it.
This story, according to the minister, he's saying that 2,000 is not going to be more than 2,000. Yeah. So the question is, when did they open official forms for people to apply? That's question. I don't really have such, but that's what I want to put at. When did they open official portal of the security service for people to apply? If they did, then that's so wonderful. Yeah. But if it wasn't like that, then how did they apply? And you see, when it comes to security service and its recruitment in Ghana, it's very, very, I don't know how to say, but You get it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
People really want to be into that service.
Yes.
So anything at all that they are supposed to do, they go to the extent of doing.
Yeah.
We know people end up paying
Some
money,
very large
amount
amounts
of
of
money
money.
just because they want to get recruited into the security services. And funny enough, you might end up paying the money
And you won't get
and
it.
you won't get it.
Yeah.
And
So
it's
the
like,
question is, how will you report this issue to the police?
Who are you even going to
Who am I
report?
going to report to? Because you didn't use the right means.
Yes.
In Sikanashi.
oh, and the people, some of them, they have the money. Those who don't have the money, but they just want to come and safeguard Ghana's security here, they don't get the chance.
So there's this friend of mine who, I was having a conversation with him concerning security recruitment, and I asked him, and he said, oh, his was about 8 years ago, and he comes from a very, should I say, manageable family. They don't really have much, but he's into the armed forces, and he was privileged. He just bought the forms, and then he was privileged to be called, went through the process. But he told me emphatically that is not the case as it stands now, because he is in there and he knows the amount of money people are paying.
Yeah.
So just as he said, if you don't have that money, just consider yourself, getting into teaching training, or you're coming to...
At least, so your friend Grace found him.
Oh, yes.
Like today's quote. Like today's quote.
Yes.
Yeah,
So we...
But this story, as you said, the minority is, let's say, speculation. It's a speculation that because the minister keeps on saying that it's not true.
Yeah.
And we are hoping to see the reality of the story. As at when they will publicly come to tell Ghanaians that, oh, this issue is not true. And the minorities will agree that it's not true. Because per this, they said, when we read the story, the minority is saying that it's a planned thing that they want to do.
Yes.
They are recruited by 3,000 to this service, 2,000 to this, and the total is over 11,000. So let's follow this story and believe that the actual thing would come out. And we'll give it to our viewers for them to know. And also when the forms are open to, I think viewers want to know about that. And because they want to get into the security service. So when the forms are open to, we would let viewers know how to access it. But let's stay calm. Let's stay calm. Yes, because we're in election year. Yeah, let's stay calm.
Okay, thank you so much. So we have a few comments here. So this one says, good morning, guys. I'm enjoying the conversations. You guys are doing well. Thank you. And she says, Yaira, you guys are looking good. I would like to be your designer soon. We will contact you. Thank you so much. And then we have Clog TV all the way. Clement, my guy. This is from Kwame Opito. Wow, thank you so much for sending in your comments. And we really appreciate them. Keep them coming on our WhatsApp, on our Facebook and YouTube streams. And we will read them out here on Cocoa Digest Morning Show. So this brings us to the end of our online and newspaper review. Thank you so much for joining me here. It was a very insightful conversation. I hope to see you guys on Monday. No, Tuesday, yes. I mean, I'll see you tomorrow, but yes, our viewers are also hoping to see you guys on Tuesday.
I know viewers want to see us on Monday. That is why you said Monday.
No, I know. Okay, so up next, we have the lifestyle segment with Miriam Abnadidi and her guests. And today she's going to be discussing community engagement. So if you want to know what that is about, just stay tuned. Right after this break, the lifestyle segment begins.